Okay, here we go. The Ben and Maggie Show.
He's about to get crazy and wild. Stay for a while. Don't touch your radio dial.
Ben and Maggie Show.
Kicking it back, sports talk. Listen to that and stay tuned for some giggles and laughs. Go.
Many of us have wondered just who is jack shit. We find ourselves at a loss when someone says, "You don't know jack shit." Well, thanks to my genealogy efforts, you can now respond in an intellectual way. Jack Shit is the only son of Aw Shit. Aw Shit, the fertilizer magnate, married Oh Shit, the owner of Knee Deep in Shit. They had one son, Jack. In turn, Jack Shit married No Shit. The deeply religious couple produced 6 children: Holy Shit, Giva Shit, Full of Shit, Bullshit, and the twins, Deep Shit and Dip Shit. Against her parents' objections, Deep Shit married Dumb Shit, a high school dropout. After being married 15 years, Jack and No Shit divorced. No Shit later married Ted Sherlock. She wanted to keep her previous name. She was then known as No Shit Sherlock. Meanwhile, Dipshit married Loda Shit, and they produced a son with a rather nervous disposition named Chicken Shit. Bullshit, the prodigal son, left home to tour the world. He recently returned from Italy with his new Italian bride, Pizza Shit. Now, when someone says, "You don't know jack shit,"
Welcome to the Planet Mikey Show.
I guess you do. I guess that guy knows everything.
There you go.
About shit. You know, remember the time when we never swore on this podcast when we first started? We tried to
beep them up.
We were like radio people trying to stay within the parameters of the FCC. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
And now we don't give a fuck. Yeah. I mean, especially Ben. He never has.
Fuck that.
See?
See?
Welcome to the thing here. And it's opening day at Fenway Park. We're going to talk to Bill Lee. We're going to get him on the phone. But first, before we do, let me introduce the episode in a proper announcer mode.
Number 268.
This is the Planet Mikey podcast, episode number 2. What is it? I'm sorry. Take 2.
That'd be 268.
This is the Planet Mikey podcast, episode 268. I'm Mike Adams, along with Ben Kitchen and Bill Smith. The three amigos. Broadcasting live from the ultra pleasant and luxurious Pelham Island Studios in Sudbury, Massachusetts, where if you have enough money, you can record your first hit LP or a podcast that you might like to talk about stuff you like to talk about. What we do on this podcast, we talk about whatever, right? We don't really have nobody tells us like they do in radio what you should talk about today.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time people were trying to tell me you should talk more about Alex Guerrero.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's been talked about for 12 hours. I'm done with it. And everybody said, oh, you didn't do your show prep. Remember that?
That's right. No prep. You didn't. Yeah. They said you didn't know who Alex Guerrero was.
I knew everything about. I knew too much about Alex Guerrero. I was so bored with it, and it was. By the way, it was playoff season too. Baseball playoff season. Football season had started. I mean, I'm going to talk about this guy, this trainer guy.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him, by the way? Is Brady still, are they affiliated, Ben, do you know?
They're still claimed to be friends, but I think business-wise they're starting to
drift.
Separate.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, that'll happen. Happened with me and Mutt.
Okay.
We're brought to you by ProAutomotiveMA.com, the very best in repairing, dealing with issues for your automobiles or your
if
trucks.
If you've got trouble with your car, truck, or SUV,
I was going to say
Pro Automotive is who to see. Automotive.
And Pro Automotive FM. 3 locations, 2 in Webster and 1 in Dudley. I do a great Dudley Do-Right, by the way.
Really?
I am Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties. I'm going to marry Nell Fenwick. Remember him?
Can you do Nell Fenwick, or did you already?
I can do. I have a porno cartoon starring her.
Really?
And he's going to. I'm going to do right by you, Nell. Do you remember him? Bullwinkle?
No.
Do you remember Bullwinkle the Moose?
Yeah.
I do a great Bullwinkle, too. You want to hear my Bullwinkle?
Oh, God. Yes, go ahead.
Well, Rocky, it's me, Bullwinkle the Moose. Does that sound like him?
That does. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Look, Bullwinkle, a message in a bottle. Fan mail from some flounder. We're also brought to you by... So sorry.
I know.
You know, 2 edibles, and I'm like this.
Jeez, Mike.
They told me there was M&Ms. I ate 2. Well, it's an overdose. We're also brought to you by my grandma's coffee cake, 1-800-8 Grandma, the greatest coffee cake in the history of mankind. Now, I have so many important things to talk about. I got women's. Let me just tell you something. I helped. I'm going to say it now, and then I'll tell you why later after we talk to Spaceman. I helped UCONN, the women's basketball program, become what they are today.
Pray tell.
Well,
What's the story?
I'm going to tell you later. Because, this is what you call a tease, right? I'll tell you the story, and then you'll go, you know what? You, aside from Gino Auriemma, are probably the most important person in the history of the UConn women's basketball program.
Damn.
I think that's what you're going to say.
Okay.
Yeah, you save it.
Very skeptical of
No,
this.
no, I'm going to tell you why. Coming up on this episode of the Planet Mikey Podcast. And, of course, there's a lot more. I got a list of cool things here to talk about, so stand by.
We'll be the judge of coolness.
Yeah, stand by for that.
Okay.
But first, it is opening day, and having gone to 30 at least consecutive opening days, I am now missing in a row my 8th consecutive opening day. I've missed 8 in a row. It's been 8 years since I set foot in Fenway Park. And there's a reason for that, too, which we can talk about later. But first, let's get some inside baseball analysis on several important baseball stories, including today's Boston Red Sox. Could you get Spaceman on the phone, Bill?
I'm doing it right now.
Do you know how to work that cell phone over there?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, it's the 802 number.
Yeah.
That's Craftsbury, Vermont, by the way. And the Red Sox now, they had that 7-3 start, and everybody's like, wow, how they're doing.
7-4 now.
Oh, yeah, I know, because the Orioles got them.
Oh.
So the Red Sox are now officially 7-4.
Howdy.
Bill Lee, hi there.
I'm good.
We're live on the podcast, and you know what that means? That means you can only swear like every 5 words.
Oh, okay. It's a octopus's garden.
Well,
Kids raising octopuses in Oklahoma.
It's like you're. I got your voicemail when I called a little earlier, and
Yeah.
you were talking about what happened on the roof. What was it?
On the roof.
No, you were talking about you climbing up on a ladder or something. What?
Oh, no. I have a lot of snow from that last big snowstorm, and it's going fast. And I found out my windows are dirty, so I took snowballs and I threw them at all the windows when it was warm, and it melted, and it took all the stuff off. And now I don't have to climb up the goddamn ladder. And I got my arm loose.
That's
I'll
good.
tell you, I'm the laziest fucking window washer in the world.
Well, at least if you can hit the windows. I remember one time.
Oh, I did. I was like, and it was good. The snow was perfect. It just all over it, and then it dripped down. It took all the smears with it, and then it evaporated, and now I got clean windows.
That's perfect. You were on my TV show one time, and you said, so Matt Young, you said that my fastball couldn't break that pane of glass over there. He said, but Matt Young couldn't hit that pane of glass.
Well, I did that for Anderson Windows. They hired me because it was unbreakable windows.
Right, I remember that.
Yeah, and then I found out if I hit them right on the sill plate right down there, I could crack the window. So you just had to have really good control and hit the corners.
Yeah, I think that was a Jim Hackett Anderson window thing, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was Hackett. That's right.
I remember that. That was fun. Come down and watch Bill Lee try to break one of our panes of glass with his. That's great.
And what it was, if you hit the window, it didn't break. But if you hit it right on the sill plate, right there down the corner, you could get them to crack.
Yeah. How many did you damage on that promotion?
About 3 or 4, low and away, always. Yeah.
Now speaking of damage, here's the problem. Right now, you have everybody, all the pitchers their arms hurt. They're going. All the starting pitchers are going down with elbow troubles. Now, these guys only go 7 innings at the most. Now they don't do 9-inning complete games, and I got stats on that. But you, as a guy who pitched till he's 78 years old, for God's sake, what's the difference between what you did with your arm or say Nolan Ryan did with his arm compared to these pussies today who can't throw anymore without getting hurt?
No, they throw, but that's why they're hurt. I pitched. I never threw. Never accused me of throwing. I was a pitcher, and I could change speeds and subtract. And, your elbow hurts. Dr. Curlin was my doctor. He was Sandy Koufax's doctor.
Yeah.
Sandy had arthritis. He had everything. But he put a tube of Parker Davis capsicum on his arm every game late in his career. And so did Gaylord Perry. And I'm telling you, it takes a man to be able to handle a tube of that stuff.
Was that like
When-
Ben Gay or something, or what is it?
It is worse. It's Parker Davis capsicum. Look it up when you're off here.
It's hot.
It is a counter irritant, and I mean, it burns. When we used to lift guys, we would stick it in their jock straps, and I'm telling you,
Nice.
it would drive them freaking. It'll burn your nuts right off.
Ruin the weekend for. Now, the reason I brought up Ben Gay is because Ben's here and he's gay, right, Ben?
Hey,
Hey.
He's half gay.
Anyway,
Yeah, no, but not Ben Gay. That's all capsicum. Parker Davis capsicum. That's what we used back then.
Yeah.
And I mean, you never knew you had a. You just worked fast to get that crap off of you
But
because it burns so
these
fast.
guys can't
You know,
pitch
it's
the
a
innings.
counter irritant.
They-
That's what you do.
they can't do
you know,
innings
you hit yourself
anymore.
on the thumb with a hammer, and then
Bill.
you know you don't worry about your elbow.
But how come these guys can't finish any game? Like, I get some stats for you on this.
They don't let them.
You
They're
re-
fucking downhill. If you watched everybody's mechanics, they go downhill. They pick their back foot up.
Yeah.
They do not decelerate. Nolan Ryan, Seaver would drop, drive, use their legs. You know, their knee would hit the ground.
Yeah.
They would drag their toe. It was a natural deceleration, which kept the elbow fine. Now they go out and they get Tommy John, and then they get Tommy John twice. They got that kid from Northeastern. I knew him when he was throwing 98 in high school. Blew his elbow out in the Cape Cod League. He's back at Northeastern. He's throwing 97. But his elbow, the tendon, used to be in his elbow. Now they went down to his ankle. They got a bigger one. They put it in his elbow. He used to have a 16 gauge. Now he's got a 10 gauge.
Can they do that with penis muscles?
Well, I tell you, you'll get a pig's kidney and a pig's heart before you die now.
Well, you know, the ancient Greeks, I don't know if you know this story, Bill. The ancient Greeks used to use the bladders of sheep as prophylactics back in the day. And then they finally realized, you know, eventually that it's easier if you take them out of the sheep first.
Yeah, it's a sheep's intestine, which was the old
Yeah.
lamb skin and
Rubbers.
stuff. That was your first condom and stuff.
That's
and,
gross.
You know, then they. I remember the great test pilot from that broke the sound barrier a long time ago.
Chuck
whatever
Yeager.
his name was. Anyway,
Yeager.
Chuck Yeager.
Chuck Yeager breaks the sound barrier.
Good pull,
He
Ben.
becomes the ambassador to Pakistan. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that.
He was the ambassador to Pakistan late in his career, and he brought prophylactics down because they were overpopulated, but they didn't work. But then he put little wiggly things and painted them orange, and they loved them.
And what about Steve Yeager? What's he doing now?
Steve Yeager is the one with the bat stuck in his jugular vein.
Now, I got to ask you this because this stat bothers me. As you know, I've talked about this before, but this is what right now you got Garrett Cole complaining that the pitch clock is causing him arm troubles and causing arm troubles around the league, and complaining to the commissioner of baseball, saying, "Well, you shouldn't have, moved it up 2 more seconds to speed up the game because it's hurting people's arms." Your thoughts on that?
It's the pitch clock hit him on the elbow. Get a smaller pitch clock,
It's like, what the
Get a Timex or something like that. Jeez, it's not that. It's the way he throws. He has no respect for his elbow. It's eventually going to. All these guys are going to blow out. They're all getting paid too much money, and
it's troublesome.
The game's gone to hell in a handbasket.
Verlander was talking about it too. Verlander, here's the killer stat. Right now, the highest number of complete games, active career complete games, is Justin Verlander with 26. Okay.
No way.
Yeah. Of all
I had
the active
73 in 3 years.
Exactly. You had 73. Tion had 187. They used to average, the best pitchers in the league would get 25, 27, 30 for Fergie Jenkins one year, complete games.
Unbelievable.
Now, this guy's pitched for 15, 16 years. Verlander, he's only got 26 complete games.
I know.
It's ridiculous.
It's amazing.
I wonder how many
They
Nolan...
just don't make them like they used to. But Verlander's, he had good mechanics. He decelerated good. And but you look at Seaver's mechanics, and then you look at Koufax. Koufax had a bad elbow, but he had really good mechanics.
Beautiful.
He came straight down the hill. He he got his legs in. We used our legs and our ass to decelerate.
Right.
Don Newcomb. No one had a bigger ass than Don Newcomb.
Even Cecil Fielder?
Oh, no. Cecil Fielder had a bigger ass.
222 complete games for Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan had 222 complete games. That's only 198 more than Verlander. I mean, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Now, how many complete games? If you take Bill Lee, the entire picture, not just the majors, the minors, when you were a kid, when you were at USC winning the College World Series, and post that, everything. How many complete games in your on your belt?
I don't know. I've got more games than Satchel Paige. All I know is I dropped dead in Savannah in 22, and that fall, that was in August, and that fall in November, I threw a 9-inning complete game in an hour and 42 minutes and struck out the side in the ninth inning. I struck out 9 after I was dead.
After you came back from the dead,
I'm called Lazarus.
Yeah,
I got
right.
this Medtronics device. It's controlled by Minnesota. It's a bunch of guys. Hey, you think we should turn the Lee off tonight, or what you do? I mean, it's I was 11-1 against Minnesota. You can look it up. These people really respect me, and they keeping me going.
So you were 11-1 against the Twins?
Yeah, the Twinkies, and now I got a Twinkie heart.
with a creamy filling. That's
with a creamy filling and 2 wires. One goes one place, one goes the other, and supposedly one keeps my ventricle going, and the other one, when it doesn't go, it shocks me and brings me back.
Yeah, see, you're all set up for permanent robotic lifetime of spaceman. Now I got to ask you this.
It's weird. I've done it 3 times. It's scary. I mean, I don't feel a damn thing. I did feel the shock in Indianapolis and in Worcester, but now they want the money. They're calling me and stuff. All these people that wanted to operate on me and save me, and they didn't do it. Bring them young and bring them off, and then they go, God damn it, they want some money now. And I said, listen, I'm a heart guy. I didn't ask for you guys. You volunteered to save my life. Now you flip the bill. Hey, I'm freaking 77 years old. I'm
beautiful.
A veteran of the Vietnam War. Kiss my ass.
That's a beautiful attitude. You know what? The Red Sox played today. They lost the Orioles. What was the final score?
7-1.
7-1. The Orioles beat. Yeah.
Who threw? Panetta?
No, Pavetta has a hurt arm. We just found out today. He's going on the DL.
No, he hurt his elbow. He's got that freaking. He got a good breaking ball.
He does.
Hurt his elbow on the curve.
Doesn't he wear 37?
Yeah, he wears my number.
Yeah. Now, the other thing is the bad news the Red Sox got today. Guess who's out for the year? Trevor Story for the year.
Well, that's a story that shouldn't have been told.
That's a terrible situation.
That guy sucks. When they got him, I said that guy looks like a guy that's going to be hurt all the time.
He can't hit the breaking ball for shit. Doesn't matter who's throwing it or from which side. He can't hit it. I mean,
I know a lot of guys like that. They were called pitchers.
I think in Colorado it disguised all of his inabilities because the air there, they can't, breaking balls don't break there very well, and the home runs fly out. So his numbers were disguised. He's been shitty for us.
He has been shitty, but that's because look at the guys Bloom and all the guys we had that brought these guys in. They were oversold. They were over this. And now they're over here.
Well, you know what? The Red Sox don't look. This is not a good thing. And they had the 2004 team in, and everything was all nice. And here's Veritek, and in honor of Tim Wakefield and his wife, which is a tragedy. But the game itself, you look at the injuries that they got today. I see them under 500 for sure this year. How about you?
I know, they're terrible. I like your pitching coach. He's throwing more breaking balls. He's actually pitching.
Yeah.
But then their arms fell off. So, you just don't teach pitching right from a young age. They do not bring them in. If they had brought me in the minor league system, we would have a healthy pitching staff today. And I'm telling you, they're so goddamn arrogant to think we got to throw harder and do that. And I'm telling you, you got a freaking, what's he, a physicist? He's got a master and stuff like that. Our general manager, whatever he is, astrophysicist. Well, he's a total eclipse.
He's a total eclipse of my ass.
Exactly.
Spaceman, because it's all these people I'm going to mention. I do these little feature called Baseball Birthdays. A couple comments on these guys that have birthdays coming up. Ready? April 10th, Ken Griffey Sr. Did he ever hit you?
Yeah, he was good. He got the base hit that beat me in Game 2 off of Drago. He's the guy. And if they had brought in Roger Moret instead of Dick Drago in Game 2 of the World Series, I would have been president of the United States, and we never would have gone into Iraq or Afghanistan.
Well, but you didn't get the loss though, because you didn't. That was just
no.
You didn't get the win.
I got 2 no decisions.
Yeah, two NDs. Trot Nixon is 50 years old today, and
he sucks too. He's the one who double clutches out in right field, let Cleveland guy go to second base, and they beat us. We would have won the World Series if he didn't freaking put the ball back in his glove before he threw it to second. He sucks.
But he's a dirt dog. He's a dirt dog. What are your thoughts on Greg Maddux, who's 58 years old on the 14th of April? He's 58. Is he in the top 10 pitchers of all time, do you think? Or?
All time. You know why? He's a pitcher. He was a shitballer like me. He never had 3-ball counts unless he was walking a guy intentionally. The guy was smart. He could field, and he shoots his age.
Unbelievable control for him. Who's having a birthday today? A guy that you called an asshole on national TV. I think it was ESPN, the trial of Pete Rose. Pete Rose is 83 years old, coming up on the
Is he really?
On the 14th.
God, I loved his wife, Carolyn. She was unbelievable.
Why was
she kept him in order and everything else. And when he started, then he got caught with that 14-year-old. He was only 28, and then it became a math problem. What goes into 28 twice, and it's Pete Rose.
2 14s.
Yeah, go exactly.
Both of them 14s. Now, but the thing about, didn't you say something once to me about his wife? Someone who was driving her Mercedes.
No, his private is. I gave him the Prius. He got a Pacer for the most valuable player in the World Series, and he took it. He was so pissed at it, he took it across the street and traded it in on a Rolls Royce. He put it in his wife's name, and now he's got a new girlfriend, and his girlfriend's driving the Rolls Royce. And in Cincinnati, she did a citizen's arrest and put that broad in jail.
Wait a minute. Pete Rose's ex-wife, or soon-to-be, did a citizen's arrest.
T-boned her. I think he T-boned her own car downtown Cincinnati and had her arrested.
Oh, God. Well, happy birthday, Pete, on the 14th of April, which is coming up in just a few days. Also, I wanted to mention this guy, too, because I like this guy for some reason. It's because I love triples. I'm a huge fan of triples because two things.
Willie Davis.
Yes.
No.
How did you know? Holy shit. That's exactly whose birthday it is on the 15th of April.
No way.
Yeah, Willie Davis. Are you kidding me? He's born in 1940. He's going to be 84. But the reason I bring him up is because he had 138 career triples, which is 118 more than Manny Ramirez. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
How did you know I was going to say
that? That guy, you measure his strides from leading off at second base or hitting a triple, and you will find out he had 3 or 4 less strides than anybody else that hit a triple.
He was the quickest guy. Everybody said he was the fastest guy in baseball, even though, for the stolen base perspective.
Wills.
Yeah, right. On the same team.
You look at Willie Davis circling the bases when he was young, hitting triples. I think he only had like 4 or 5 strides between 90 feet.
Unbelievable. But the fact that you knew it was, I didn't talk to you about this. I didn't tell you.
No,
Willie.
you don't. Hey.
Holy shit.
I am an L.A. boy.
Holy shit. That was great. That's cosmic transference. Boy, that's something.
I know, that's like venereal disease.
Well, Spaceman, so you're feeling good, everything okay, your heart's working, it's ticking.
Yeah, I know. As I've been talking, I've been sliding further and further out of my easy boy, so I got to pick myself off the ground now when I'm hang up.
Well, I hope everything stays well with you, my friend.
I will. Love you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for staying in touch.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
The spaceman, legendary spaceman Bill Lee. He was 11-1 against the Twins, and he was 12-4 against the 12-5 against the Yankees. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good credential to have, because if you combine the two, it's like 20. It's like 23-6.
If you say so.
That's Cy Young material.
That sounds about right, Mike.
Yeah, so he understands completely, because here's a guy. He had 72 complete games. The all-time, right now, the current record holder for active pitchers has 26, and Bill Lee had 72.
Wow.
And he only pitched 13 years. So, I'm saying? Do the math.
But he pitched whole games, didn't he?
He pitched complete games.
The complete game.
Yeah, complete. And here's the other stat that no one ever talks about. Shutouts. Because they don't do complete games, they don't have shutouts.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, here, listen to this. Garrett Cole, we're just talking about, right? He makes $36 million a year. You know how many complete games he has in his life?
6.
8.
Really?
8. In his entire career, he has 8.
And how much money does he make?
Fergie Jenkins had 30 complete games in one season. Okay. Shutouts in his career, Garrett Cole, Mr. $36 million man, 2. 2 shutouts. Bob Gibson had 2 shutouts in a week. I mean, it's like the shutout numbers are ridiculous. Louis Tion had 49 career shutouts. 49. Garrett Cole has 2. It makes you want to puke. But I'm not going to do that right now.
Don't do it, Mike.
I don't want to do it on tonight's show. Because we have other things to talk about. You know how I like to just once in a while just flip into the world of politics and make fun of people?
Yeah.
Because I can't stand their policies. You know that. Mm-hmm. Now, Ben, he's a moderate liberal.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, you're not hardcore lefter.
No.
No, but you're liberal, but you're not. You're more moderate. You're more towards the center.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Now, I'm going to say Bill Smith is a conservative.
Yes.
But he's reasonable. I'm a centrist libertarian.
I think he's hardly reasonable.
Well, I lean toward the center as well.
See, I'm a centrist libertarian, which means I believe in smaller government and larger boobs. It's just an attitude I have.
I think that's fair.
Gas prices are up 53 cents in the last.
And you would know, being a Lyft driver. Yeah.
Biden did not refill the strategic reserves. Remember, he said, well, we're going to do this. We're going to lower the gas prices, then we're going to refill them. He didn't.
First, he gave it all away, too.
And now it's higher prices, so to refill it would cost us more money on the deficit. So he's a dumbass. I think it's safe to say that I'm convinced that Joe Biden's a dumbass. Most people know that. Biden is also doing something else that I think is quite stupid, which is he's out there again with this plan to relieve some college debt, and we know what it's disguising. He's trying to buy votes.
Of course he is.
Anybody with a brain, excuse me, would know. But Biden is trying to buy votes, and he's got Kamala. Kamala, is it Kamala?
Yeah.
She's out there, telling the whole, well, this is going to save people, all this kind of, which people?
Did you see the big sign behind Kamala? Debt cancellation. It's a giant thing.
Yeah.
Debt cancellation. And then underneath.
It's not even thinly disguised.
No.
It's awful. So what is this? What is this new plan? Well, let me just give you some details here, and then I can hear what Ben, who's a quasi-liberal, has to say about
He
this.
would know.
Is all your college paid off?
Yes.
Okay. Who paid it? You? Your dad?
I would rather not talk about that.
Wait, so there's some secret person paid that?
Maybe I have
Maybe it was a scholarship for Ben.
President Joe Biden is taking another shot at student loan cancellation, hoping to deliver on a key campaign promise that he has so far failed to fulfill. Why? Because the Supreme Court said, you can't do that.
You can't do that.
And you can't change that. Let's do that song later. In a visit to Wisconsin on Monday, by the way, swing state, Biden detailed a proposal that would cancel at least some debt for more than 30 million Americans. Do you think any of them might vote for him if he cancels their college debt? Yeah, because he's buying their vote with taxpayer money.
Well, you know what I would do to guarantee the vote?
With your money, Ben.
I'd
My
say,
money?
Vote for me first. Give me the vote, then I'll cancel your debt.
The Supreme Court rejected Biden's first try at mass cancellation. Biden called that court decision a mistake. The court made a mistake.
The Supreme Court made a mistake?
Yeah, can you imagine?
I know.
But then Biden ordered the Education Department to craft a new plan using a different legal authority He's still trying to buy the same votes.
He's trying to go around the Supreme Court.
Now, the latest proposal is more targeted than his original plan, focusing on those for whom student debt is a major obstacle. Well, I thought that's the whole idea. Biden's first attempt would have erased $10,000 for borrowers with the yearly incomes of up to $125,000, plus an additional $10,000 if they were Pell Grant recipients. So they get $20,000 off, plus they had the Pell Grant. That's for low-income students, of
But
course.
the new one now, no matter what your income level is, they will cancel that
The new
debt.
plan uses the different legal justification called the Higher Education Act, which is all these names are just stupid.
Yeah.
Which allows the Secretary of Education to waive student loan debt in certain cases. The Education Department has been going through a federal rulemaking process to clarify how the Secretary can invoke that authority to buy votes for Joe Biden. That's all it is. And the money is not coming from some special fund, or manna from heaven. It's coming from you, and me. Yeah.
No.
We're paying for deadbeats who signed up for this because they had delusions of grandeur, and then they ended up with what? A degree in,
Gender studies.
yeah, insect fornication and, whatever it is. But now he's at it again, Joe Biden, and he does this all the time with taxpayer money. He's trying to he's pandering to his base. Makes me sick. So gas prices are up. Joe Biden's not doing his job, and I hate him. He's so. Has he ever fixed anything in his life? Has he ever been right? Ever on anything?
He lies about everything.
Oh, the frustrating thing is you're not fixing the actual problem.
Who, me? Personally?
Not you.
Oh, I was
Joe.
going to say, because
Dude,
I would
paying,
fix
off,
the problem.
paying off student debt doesn't solve the real problem.
No, which is the high cost of tuition. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. And
And there's more colleges than ever, so in theory, they should be cheaper than ever.
And there's something really wrong with an attitude of you know what? I don't have to pay my debts. I don't have to pay my bills. It won't affect my credit because Joe's going to swoop in there and he's going to pay out my college for me. So I don't have to.
Maybe, if we start something, he could
totally
pay off our
irresponsible.
credit cards. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, and to add to the insult to injury, credit card debt is at the highest level it's ever been at.
Yep.
It's $1 trillion that Americans owe on credit cards. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you that they don't have enough money to pay for the things they need every single day, whether it's groceries or gasoline or, a couple hookers. So let's just throw religion into this. Now, you've heard of Salem, Massachusetts?
Salem, yeah.
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 Someone threw an explosive device onto the porch of the Satanic Temple
Ooh.
at a time when no one was inside.
Satanic temple.
So
Wow.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Good point. The device and damage it caused were not found until 12 hours later. So 4 o'clock in the morning, someone throws a bomb or explosive device on the Satanic Temple porch. And 12 hours later, they discover it.
Poor Baphomet.
State police technicians ensured the device was no longer a danger, but they were investigating, and the police did not provide details on the damage. Police have responded to the temple previously for bomb threats and hate crimes. Now, why would anyone associate anything hate-related to Satan?
I have no idea. It must be those pesky white Christian men.
Is Satan known as hating Satan? Is that what it's all about? I mean, what's going on here? I guess, though, if you're going to throw an explosive device, and let's say you're a religious zealot or a nut, a complete goof, and you have an explosive device, we're probably better off saying, well, at least it was there and not, at some daycare.
Well, yeah. It's a good way to look at it, Mike. Thanks for summing that up.
No, seriously. I'm very serious about this. I got to get me another now. Now I got to get another explosive device, though. Oh, that was rich. That was rich. So I have established myself over time, and it's only 85% braggadocio. But the UConn women's basketball team, who lost tragically on a very bad call.
You mentioned something about that earlier, that you had a great deal to do with their success.
Well, yes, I think I did, and I'm not bragging. This is factual. All this, everything I'm about to say is absolutely
like
factual.
the actual Mike Adams, the man who's sitting right there.
Yeah.
Was responsible for something big.
In 1991, I was a sports anchor at Channel 3 in Hartford, Connecticut, the CBS affiliate. And we as a station were all over the UConn Huskies because they were starting to get good. Now, I've been affiliated with the UConn Husky basketball program for years. I covered them when they played with the NIT with Cliff Robinson in 1988. And everybody was excited then. Oh, they made the NIT. Oh, and they won it. Hey, look at this. The NIT. It was big. And so everybody's excited, UConn Huskies. And, we had some of our sports anchors were dressing up as the Husky and being the mascot for a game. And we were going to everything, blanketing coverage. So the UConn goes to the Sweet 16 or whatever they were. They were involved in the men's tournament. And, Jim Calhoun and I go way back. And I was very proud of that program. Jim Calhoun did a good job putting UConn on the map and then winning championships afterwards. And Jim Calhoun is now in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Old friends. We're old friends. So now it's the UConn women who make the Final Four. Before that, they were in this tournament. And I went to the news director and the assistant news director at Channel 3, and I said, we can't just cover the men's basketball. We have to cover the women because they're doing the same thing except that they're women that the men are doing on the side of the collegiate basketball thing. They're going to the tournament. So I went to the Sweet 16 round. I went to the Elite 8 round. I went to the Final Four with the UConn women's basketball team because there was only one camera there, Channel 3. Channel 8 wasn't there. Channel 30 wasn't there because they said, oh, it's women's basketball. No one cares. I said, wait, you can't do that. It's not fair. This is like a gender thing with me. And Deb Johnson was the new assistant. She goes, you know what? You're right. We got to go. So she sent me and a cameraman to New Orleans, which was a mistake, for the Final Four, women. And Gino Auriemma was the coach. I got to be very tight with Gino and his program. Now, they lost in their first Final Four to Virginia. This is back in 1991, but that was the first time UConn ever made it for Final Four. So it was very exciting for the program. They were kind of like, okay. And I put together a videotape of all their highlights and all the moments and everything. I put together this big presentation, which Gino used to recruit players, including Rebecca Lobo.
Beautiful.
Now, Rebecca Lobo comes aboard, and in 1995, they go undefeated. I was there for that, too. I was in the locker room when Bill...
What?
I wasn't doing any examinations like I usually do. I was in the locker room when Bill Clinton called to congratulate Gino on the undefeated championship season in Minnesota. Somebody said, Gino, the president's on the phone, and he's thinking, and I'm thinking, oh, it's the president of UConn. Athletics. No, it's Bill Clinton. Yeah. Hey, Gino, good job on the game. But you never, how about you? Well, whatever he said. And so I've been part of that. I was part of that program, and I felt really like a part of the team. They were so good. Gino Auriemma is such a good coach. Now what's he got? He's got 11 championships, okay? Mm-hmm. He's in the Basketball Hall of Fame. He's had 17 conference championships. He's got a record of 1,100 wins and 100 and some odd losses. And it's like, I tweet out, I think Gino Auriemma might just be arguably the greatest coach in the history of basketball. Not because the men's game isn't different or because high school isn't different from the pros or college, but because as a coach, your job is to win with the people you have or the people you can get to come to your school. And I think his stats back that up. Now, he just lost tragically in that game the other night. I thought it was a foul. I thought it wasn't a foul. They called a foul, ended the game. They had one more shot. They were 1 point away from it. But let's give the guy credit where credit's due, right? He's had a remarkable record. Gino Auriemma, he's only 1 month younger than me. And I remember at the press conference at the Final Four down there against Virginia in New Orleans, so one of the reporters said to him, so Gino's birthday today. How old are you? And he turns to the lady who asked the question. He goes, what do you weigh? It was funny.
Perfect.
Just an oddball thing to say. Anyway, I love Gino Auriemma. He's a good guy. He came to my house with his family. We played in the backyard. And the kids, he brought the kids. We were tight. We played golf. I mean, and I was there for his Final Four, and I was the only camera there, so I think I helped his program.
You did.
And I
agree.
think they should send me a Husky pennant and some stickers for my bumper stickers.
And a mention in the Hall of Fame.
And he's already in. He forgot all about it. But we had a cookout, Anyway, so that's my UConn. That's my UConn connection.
I like that.
I almost killed Kevin Ollie too on the golf course one
What?
time. I missed his head. I hit a drive in a blind spot over the hill, and it just missed Kevin Ollie's head by about 3 feet right after he won a championship. So I made my mark on that program almost.
Jeez.
Almost. Now, before we move on to the musical portion of the program, do you guys have anything you'd like to add? I think we've had a hell of a podcast. So
Yeah,
far,
this is
don't
a
you?
great
Fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
super.
Fabulous.
I had a guy I worked with, Milt. I don't know if he's still alive. I hope he's still alive. Milt Anninger,
Yeah.
sales manager of WCCC in Hartford.
Oh.
And no matter what you said to him, he'd say, "Oh, that's super. Super. Yeah. Could you record this commercial for me for this client? Yeah. Oh, that would be super.
Super.
Super." I don't know why I just thought of him.
You're the best.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for doing that. That's super. Super. I mean, remember that was a trendy word for a while. Yeah, super. So
Super.
I'm gonna just. I think we should let's just get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man.
What do you say?
Right.
You wanna?
Ooh.
Sure.
Let's do a song. What song should we do? What song did I say we should do?
I don't know. You can't change that.
Oh, by radio, Ray
That's the
Parker.
one, Ray
I don't
Parker
need any
Jr.
rehearsals. It's Joe and Jerry time on opening day. On opening day. On opening day, Joe. Opening day. Honey, I'll always love you. I promise I'll always love you. Because I think the whole world of you, and you can't change that. No, no. There's nothing you can do or say. I've thought about this for many a day. My mind's made up to feel this way, and you can't change that, Joe. Because you're the only one I love, Troop, and you can't change that. You're the only one I need, and you can't change that. You're the only one I love, and you can't change that. That's Shaw's. You're the only one I need, and you can't. This is a very repetitive song, True. Now you can try if you want to. Whoa, yeah. You can change your telephone number. You can change your address too. But you can't stop me from loving you, and you can't shave that. You can change the color of your hair. You can change the clothes you wear. Never change your pubic hair. No, you can't shave that. You're the only one I love. Yeah, and you can't change that. And you can't fucking change that either. This band sucked. This song sucked.